Joining us today on RedlegsTV, we've got Redlegs senior coach, or newly reappointed Redlegs senior coach, Logan Austin. Welcome to RedlegsTV, Logan.
Cheers, Phil. Thanks for having me. Good to be on.
So, first off, congratulations on your reappointment for 2023. And well done on your win last week.
Yeah, no, it's been a good week, I guess, both for the team and personally. It was good to get our second win on the board last week, and for the MND round, it just all sort of tied in together. So no, it was a great week.
Certainly was a big day for the club too. Gippsland League footy with 9 games in. How have you found that?
Yeah, it's been tough at times. I played in the Goulburn Valley League last year and sort of got my taste of country footy. The league, they're very similar. I'd say that probably Gippsland League's got a bit more top end talent with ex-AFL players, especially your Leon Guthers and Montague and those sort of teams. But the standard of footy's been very tough. It makes it hard for teams that are trying to climb the ladder to get a spot ahead. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable so far.
Very good. So I suppose the question on everyone's lips about there is, how does Bairnsdale get ahead? What are the keys there?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of a mixture. I think us as a team, with the group we've got at the moment, we're just trying to get the best out of each individual and trying to hone in, okay, how do we want to play? Are we a team that wants to move the ball fast and change the angles, which I think we are. We've started to learn a little bit more with our ball movement and try to change the lanes. But then it's also trying to recruit a little bit better in the off season, bring some players in that are going to add experience, especially into our midfield. So there's 2 components to it. I think it's about, trying to develop our 18s and also our younger senior players into better footballers. And then it's also just trying to get in some A-grade talent in and around the midfield. I think that will probably make the biggest inroads into climbing the ladder.
Very good. And coaching, is it all of what you expected or different, or how have you found that?
Yeah, it's certainly been a challenge. I wouldn't say any of it's been unexpected. Obviously, I'm still playing, so when it comes to game day and in quarters and that, I think it's taken me a little bit to get out of my own head and stop thinking about just my performance. And I'm out there trying to think about the team, and then also try and worry about me trying to get a kick. So it's been juggling that, and then also I'm just really enjoying trainings. And then you've got Mick Preston, Sean Mooney, Adrian Bromwich helping me out at trainings at the moment, which has been great. But yeah, it's been a great introduction to it, having the help. But yeah, it's definitely been one that's, I think, it's matured me as a footballer as well.
Well, just 2 things probably out of that. One is that you don't seem to have been struggling to get a kick. You've been going along pretty well, so that doesn't seem to have worried you too much there. On the other part of the coaching, you mentioned about development of players, but also then there's the strategy and how do you have a preference as in strategy as opposed to development, or is it a bit of both, or where do you sit with those 2?
Yeah, I think it's got to be a bit of both. I think, you got to look at, okay, the playing group we have and the strengths that the team has, I guess, as is and coming in. So, I feel like I look at our group and I see that we've got some driven kids. A lot of effort is displayed. It's probably that we lack a little bit of polish at times and can be a little bit fumbly. So, you're not going to make a Hawthorn style game plan try and fit at Bairnsdale. So it's all about trying to look at the team we've got, what strengths we have as a team, and then try and hone in on those. And then as well as that, it's just trying to develop our thirds players into senior footballers. Like, the goal should be for every under 18s kid that you want to try and push up and play a seniors game, and Casey's doing a good job with that. So I think it's just about developing those players, but then also coming up with a strategy that suits our team from an individual and collective point of view.
Very good. So team goals and achievements, is that a collective thing, or is that how's they work? Were they?
Yeah. So at the start of the year, we didn't set we didn't set a particular, we want to finish 5th or anything like that on our camp to meantime. We just sort of said, we want to start earning respect back within the competition. That's our goal. At the moment, at the start of the year, we sort of struggled to gain respect, probably been easy beats at times. And it's just trying to change that attitude from a playing point of view, but then also try and get that respect back from the competition. And there's been games this year where we've turned it on for a half, and when we're winning against Logan at half time, and I'm sure everyone that was at that game is probably thinking, geez, the boys are playing well, but then we've still got those lapses in concentration where teams can kick goals against us in a hurry. So our goal still for this year is just trying to earn respect back, and the only way you can do that is by competing hard and then also winning games of football. So on the weekend, it was good to have a win and hopefully go back to back tomorrow.
So just to expand on that, or put a full stop on that, at halfway of the point of the season, a successful 2022 campaign looks like.
Yeah, I won't put probably a number on how many wins. Like if we're at, we're at 2 wins now, halfway point. I'm thinking, if we can get ourselves up to 5 or 6 wins for the year, and we probably would have liked to have a couple of games back in the first half. I think back to round 1 against Morwell, who we play tomorrow. That Mafra game, we were winning at halftime. So we're definitely left some wins out there. It's just hopefully in this back half of the year we can pick those back up. So I'm thinking if we can, finish with 5 or 6 wins, that's probably a good result for us and builds belief going into 2023.
Recruitment and retention's always massive. It's just as big as recruitment in a lot of ways. Just on the recruitment side, though, did you leave a little list with the committee when you were talking about your ReAppointment?
Yeah, we've had the conversations. I think everyone that's on the committee and probably anyone that's at the Bairnsdale Footy Club can sort of see what we need. And I think we've got some really good key position players at both ends of the ground, and we do have some really talented midfielders. It's just trying to bolster that up. I think that's where our growth is going to come, is just from getting some good midfield talent in and some senior bodies. Like on the weekend, you have Sam Gilbert, Shane McDonald. They're quality players, and it just shows what a difference it makes. Not only just having those 2 in, but suddenly Link McKenna, who we've asked him to play in the midfield all year, can go to a half forward and pinch hit in the midfield. And when he goes in there, he's fresh. He makes a big impact. Liam Giovi can start to get rotated a little bit more. It makes a huge difference. So, we've earmarked that we want a couple of mids, and we'll be. I think all of us will be looking at our phone book and seeing what players we can bring in.
Very good. And lastly, I suppose, 2023, is that a suck it to see, or is it with a view to longer term, or we'll just stick with 2023 for the minute and see where we're at?
Yeah, I think like I said before, like we obviously try and finish this year off strong and see if we can chalk up a few more wins, build the belief, and then hopefully recruit well, but then add into that retain really well. We've got some top age thirds players that I think are going to be really good senior players, and then a couple of them has already had a taste this year. So if we can retain those players, get a couple more in, I'm hoping that we can push towards a finals berth for next year. And
just one last one. If you looked at and you had to come up with three of the top factors that had you say yes to 2023, what would they be?
I think it's just, I'm not someone that does anything sort of half-assed. So, I understand that this year was probably going to be a learning experience for me. It's my first year coaching. Next year is probably just a great opportunity to build this group that we've got, keep as many of the players as we can together. And I think keep developing our game plan. It's hard to achieve a lot of things in that year 1, but hopefully into your second year, add some more players in, players get a little bit better, get fitter, then, we're suddenly a better outfit. So that's probably the main driving factor. Is like when we do get a win, we have that taste, and hopefully next year that can turn into potentially a finals berth for us. But like I said before, we're still trying to just win as many games of footy as we can this year, and hopefully that's 5 or 6.
Yeah, very good. Is there anything that you wanted to say that you haven't said so far?
No, I think that's it. It's just for me, coaching is probably something that I've always thought I might get into, and for my first what are we 10 or 11 rounds, I'm really enjoying it, and I think that's why I wanted to stick around. Everyone at the Bairnsdale Footy Club's been awesome, changing the guard as well, with the president. Like Murray's done a fantastic job. Mick coming in also is just gonna liven up the place as well, and Shane McDonald and Sam Gilbert said to me after the game on the weekend they just loved the vibe around the place, and that was after a win. So for me, what excites me is hopefully having that feeling a lot more often. If we have that winning feeling, then suddenly the club rooms are packed. The juniors want to play senior football for Bairnsdale. The town comes alive. So that's probably what excites me.
Very good. Well, we're liking the way that you're going about it, mate, and all the best for the second half of 2022 and beyond.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.